Hello everyone and welcome back to a new episode of F1 2017 Career Mode in Season 2. We are here and ready for the Chinese Grand Prix. Right off the bat we're going to jump to qualifying. This is actually round 3, and this was all about basically who could set the last lap in qualifying, because we're just coming off a track that was wet, and this is the driest it's been. There's still a lot of oversteer at this point, but I was the last guy to cross the line with still enough time to get a lap in, so we're coming through the final corner just to complete our lap. And I know we've got a good chance to run good because we went so late, and you've seen right there in the top left we did go P2 to start the Chinese Grand Prix, so certainly a very good opportunity, and really just a good call to go out as late as we did. And you see Hamilton barely got the pole, so it'll probably be a different story in the race, so we'll have to hope for the best, maybe hold on to like a top 7, so hopefully we can do that in the race. So let's try to do that here in the Chinese Grand Prix.
And of course, down the kilometre-long back straight into the hairpin at turn 14. As the drivers complete their preparations down below us on the grid, one man who's no stranger to the pre-race pressure is Anthony Davidson, who joins me in the commentary box today. Great to have you with us, Ant. I'm sure you can tell us all about what goes through a driver's head before lights out.
Well, from the moment qualifying's over, you start to feel the adrenaline in your body build up and the buzz in your stomach as you anticipate the run down into turn 1. It's all a bit like going into battle, and the unknown situation makes you nervous. Those pre-race nerves are a good thing. The day you don't have them means that you don't care anymore. And of course, you have to make sure that all the procedures are second nature to you, so that they're not taking up too much of your capacity.
Well then, after an exciting qualifying session yesterday, let's take a look at how the cars line up. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, and a Williams alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Bottas, Raikkonen, Sebastian Vettel and Ricciardo, Perez, Verstappen, Grosjean and Esteban Ocon, Alonso, Hülkenberg, Daniel Kvyat and Sainz, Palmer, Van Dorn, Kevin Magnussen and Lance Stroll, Ericsson and Pascal Wehrlein completes the grid. And now it's time to head down to the track.
Alright, we are ready to start the race. We're going to be starting on the super soft tire, and you see Hamilton's actually going to start on the soft tire. But we are ready to go green. 5 red lights, and we are green for the Chinese Grand Prix, starting just ahead of Bottas, who's already come along my left side. There you see on the proximity radar. But we go into turn 1. Ooh, we push up the track a little bit, and Bottas, oh, we just got hit from behind, and we managed to hang on to it. Oh my gosh, that was intense. We almost just got wrecked by Sebastian Vettel. We'll get a replay right here. You see he comes in and just clips me in the right rear, and luckily I realized that quick enough, and we were able to hang on to it. I almost hooked it left back into Bottas and almost crashed him. I mean, he was already going wide, just about into the grass, but thankfully all of us somehow come out of there without any major problems happening. But we managed to hold on to P3 for the moment. I don't think we're going to be able to hold off the Ferraris, so they're going to be able to get by us pretty fast, probably either this lap or next lap. So we'll just have to manage our race and try to come out of here, hopefully just behind the Ferraris. I don't know if we'll be able to fight with the Red Bulls. That'll be hard to do, but we'll see what we can make happen. Now we come into the little right-handed bend here down through to the long straightaway. This might be one of the longest straightaways in F1, I would assume. But this is going to be the best opportunity for Vettel to get by us, but I don't think it's going to happen this lap. Probably once we hit the DRS on lap 3, I think we're going to have to watch out. That's going to be when basically we really start to fall off, because it's going to give guys such great opportunities to pass us. But now we come towards the last corner, and now out to complete the lap 1 in this race. Lewis Hamilton sets the fastest lap. We actually set a fastest sector 3 time. That's not going to stick, obviously. But we get really loose into turn 1. That's something I've actually been struggling with throughout the whole race weekend in practice, qualifying, and even in league racing with this setup. And I would just go into turn 1, and the car, the back end will just kick out. And I had that problem in my Nitro Racing League and it can certainly get sketchy because if it kicks out at the wrong time, I mean, you're going for a spin. But I've gotten to the point now where I can manage it pretty well, and hopefully we don't get a spin throughout this race, because I mean that'll put us way behind, and we don't need that. Obviously, we had a strong showing in the Australian Grand Prix with a third place finish. Obviously, some guys DNF'd. I think 3 or 4 guys in front of us DNF'd, and that's what put us in position to get a podium. But I mean, we put on a really good race, and we just kind of did what we needed to do, and stayed out of any trouble, and it came out really well. We got a podium for the first time of the season, obviously the first race of the season, so it's a great start. Hopefully we can continue that. I mean, the goal for this is a top 7, and that's just a personal goal, and it's also what the team wants. So we managed to hold up Vettel for another straightaway. It's not going to last long, obviously, but I'll take it for now. Coming to the end of lap 2, we're going to hit DRS this time, so this will give everyone their best opportunity to now run us down, which is going to definitely happen now as we come to lap 5. You see Kimi Räikkönen has gone past his teammate Vettel, and he's working on a pass on us at the end of the long straightaway. He does complete the pass. I don't even bother to challenge him. There's no point. I mean, I'm in a Williams. He's in a Ferrari. That would just be a stupid idea just to challenge him. It's just a waste. But we're just going to fall in line behind him. We are certainly going to be pitting shortly, probably in the next 2 or 3 laps. But we go a little wide into turn 1. We almost get in the grass there. That time the back end didn't kick out. It's just I screwed up the entry. So now we got Vettel all over our back end here, and he's certainly going to have an opportunity next time we get to the long straightaway. You see there, I'm certainly at this point dealing with quite a bit of oversteer once the tires have gotten so much worn. But right now we're just trying to hold our ground. Once Vettel gets by us, we have a pretty comfortable gap between myself and 6th place. I'm not sure who is 6th. It's probably a Red Bull. I would guess maybe Ricardo. But now you see that as soon as Kimi Räikkönen got past me, he is long gone, and Vettel is right behind us. He is certainly going to be within the DRS zone this lap, so he's going to have an opportunity to pass me depending on how close he is once we get out of this little turn here. Right on the exit, you can see on the proximity radar, and right behind us, he's only about a car length behind me. So he is all over us, and he has DRS, I would assume. I mean, he's certainly not showing the speed that I expected down the straightaway. He does have a bit of a run, but he does not actually get the opportunity to make a move now. So we're going to easily hold our position for a moment, and we're actually putting a little bit of a gap on him right now. I believe we got some cars pitting. We got Räikkönen there. But now we come to the next lap. You see Vettel pulls over here on the same straightaway. He has a puncture in his right front tire, so he's going to have to pit this lap now, obviously, for sure. But that's going to set him way behind now, which will put a pretty good gap between him and myself. But now we come to a lap later, lap 8. We're getting ready to make our pit stop this lap here. Obviously, where he should come out ahead of Vettel, but where he should be, I don't know, P5, I think, once we come out. Now we come in, hopefully we do not speed, go a little wide there on the entry. No big deal as we get slowed down. We barely get to our speed limit, so we're pretty good off. And now let's hope for a good pit stop. It'd be really cool if maybe in a future F1 game, like the pit crew screwed up, kind of like the NASCAR games used to have, which I think is an option that maybe NASCAR Heat 3 should have as well. But we get out of pit road. We currently sit P13. I don't know where we're actually going to cycle out, but we come out right behind Marcus Ericsson. Obviously, that's going to be an easy pass. He is on the super soft tire. I don't know. I guess he hasn't made a pit stop yet. Neither has his teammate Pascal Wehrlein. But we're actually going to send it in pretty deep there, make a dive bomb move on him, and easily make the pass, and we are gone with no problems at all. I certainly like a car more on soft tires. I think I'm actually a lot faster on a soft tire than I am on a super soft, but I obviously still prefer a super soft over a soft simply due to the speed. We're coming on 19 laps to go once we hit the line, so I think what most teams are trying to do here is do a one-stop strategy, and we are on a two-stop strategy. So we're gonna have to make one more pit stop, probably around lap 20 would be my guess. And I don't know if we'll be putting on the super soft or the soft. I think that if we come in around lap 20, we can put on the super soft if we want to. But to be safe, I think I'm going to go with the soft tire. And now we're just closing in on the guys in front of us. You see Ricardo, we just passed him now. He's coming out of pit road. He's on the medium tire, so he's definitely going to the end of the race now. And you can see we need to save a little bit of fuel as Sebastian Vettel comes through, sets the fastest lap of the race now. As we close in on these guys in front of us, it was our teammate Lance Stroll and Carlos Sainz battling in front of us. They still have to pit, so I'm not going to put too much pressure on them. Don't really want to ruin their race or my race just because they got to pit, and it's just no point of actually putting up a big fight against them when they're going to be out of my way anyways. But we're certainly running them down quick. Lance Stroll running 10th. That's the best he's ever run in this game, and he's going to be shortly back down to like 16th when the pit cycle is done. But now we come to the next lap later as we try to make a pass on Lance Stroll into turn 1. He does get really sideways. It looks like I might have tapped him in the right rear, but that's not what happened. I did not even touch him. And now Ricardo gets some wing damage because Stroll comes back on the track right in front of him. So that basically ruins Ricardo's race. It shouldn't be. It didn't look like too much damage, but it's going to likely be performance impacting. But now we go for a pass on Carlos Sainz down the long straightaway. I almost made contact with him, but it looked like I made contact with Stroll, but I did not touch him. It was really close, but I really don't know why he broke loose. I think maybe it was a reaction to how close I actually got to his right rear, and it just caused him to overreact and kind of lose the car. But yeah, I did not touch him. But we've gotten past those guys. We cycled through to P5, and now a couple laps later, or a handful of laps later, you see Vettel, who's actually run us down, but now he's going to come in to make another pit stop, which will be his last pit stop of the race. So as soon as he ran us down, he went back to pit road, as we have now just 11 laps to go, coming on 10 to go, and we've gotten all the way up to P2 due to the pit cycle going through, and we still have to come in here for one more pit stop, and that's exactly what we're going to do this lap. We're going to be on a 10-lap stretch here to the finish. Barely get down to 50 once again. No one behind us right now. We're going to put on the soft tire once again to finish this race off. A solid pit stop from the team, 2.4 seconds, so that is brilliant. Alright, we exit pit road. It looks like we're going to be P5. No, P6. Vettel has overtaken us with the pit strategy. He's on the medium tire, so we are on the faster tire. But I don't know how this is going to work out. It really doesn't make sense to me why he put on a medium tire. I mean, you can easily make it to the end on a soft. But I don't know if we're going to have the speed. I mean, he's on a slower tire, but he's in a Ferrari. We are in a Williams, so it's certainly going to be pretty hard to actually run him down. Behind us we have Nico Hulkenberg. None of the Red Bulls are like in sight at all right now. I don't know. We know Ricardo got some damage from our teammate Lance Stroll, but other than that, I have no idea where Verstappen is. I guess they're both just having a rough day here in China. Yeah, you can see at this point Vettel is long gone. Now as we come to a few laps later, he is over 2 seconds ahead with less than 10 laps to go. We are certainly not good on fuel right now. Obviously, as you can see, I put it into lean, basically in any slower area on the track. And now we have a virtual safety car for Stoffel Van Dorn DNFing. I do have a clip of that. It wasn't the best clip, but this is the only clip I could get with Verstappen's view. He just posed over the side of the track with some type of mechanical failure, obviously. But now we come towards the end of lap 21 with the VSC coming to an end, and we are back to green flag racing. We're just in a stretch to the finish of this race. 3.3 seconds behind Vettel, and basically we're just kind of off by ourselves. We're not going to run down anyone in front of us, and I don't think Hulkenberg behind me is going to run me down. So we're really just hanging on to P6 for the rest of this race, which, I mean, isn't too bad. I'm not going to complain about that too much. 3.4 seconds to Vettel ahead, as you hear. And Hulkenberg is now 7 seconds behind, so we gained like half a second on him. I mean, that might have just been due to the VSC, I don't know. Not much has happened in this race as I deal with a little bit of oversteer there. But yeah, this has been a pretty straightforward race. Not a lot's happened. But I kind of like it when it's that way. Alright, now we come to just 3 laps to go. You see a little bit more oversteer into turn 1. But we're just hanging on to P6. We've stretched the gap between myself and Hulkenberg another handful of seconds. It's now 11.4. So, I mean, we've got no problem at all right now. We are just hanging on to the end. 6.9 seconds to Vettel, though. So he's pulled away way too much. And we're obviously not going to even come close to him. And we know that Lewis Hamilton, I believe, is the leader in this race, so he's clearly just going to cruise to victory. Now, Mercedes has edged Ferrari so far at the beginning of the season. They have been a little bit better as we've now hit the white flag. Ferrari is just right now 1 step behind Mercedes. I mean, they just need to get maybe just one upgrade, one major upgrade, and they will be pretty even with Mercedes, maybe even a little bit better. So certainly look for that. I mean, they're going to probably be making an upgrade any episode now. Probably, I mean, it could have happened this episode right after China here, going into Bahrain. But obviously, us as a team, we're still a little ways behind, but we just need to keep doing what we're doing. We've closed the gap on Renault, and hopefully we can pass them shortly. But now we come to the end of this race where Lewis Hamilton, through the last corner, down to the line, he will win the Chinese Grand Prix. It's, I believe he won Australia as well, but now we come into the last sector here in China, down through the right-handed bend, going for the long straightaway one final time. We're going to bring it home in P6, 13 seconds ahead of Hulkenberg, so I mean, I can spin the car out right now and still probably come out of here with a 6th place finish. Now into the last right-hander, a little bit more oversteer as we come into the last left-hander. Down the straightaway one more time. We are going to bring the car home in P6 in China. And Lance Stroll is probably somewhere in the back, which is just brilliant. Alright, so there you have it. Hamilton wins, and we bring home 6 out of Ferrari. I think we do have one Ferrari on the podium, and it would be obviously Kimi Räikkönen now as Toto Wolff celebrates. There is Lewis Hamilton. He has a really nice helmet.
We could sit here and talk about strategy all day, the overtaking.
One thing I would like in the next F1 game is instead of choosing from like templates of helmet design, see Verstappen actually got 4th. That's why I didn't see him, he was in front of me. But I would like to actually be able to customly design a helmet with a feature in the game, kind of like you could do with NASCAR 15 with you could design a car. So. But now Lewis Hamilton, Bottas, and Raikkonen get to celebrate on the podium. Sprays the camera with champagne. Alright, there you have it. P6, I'll take it. Now let's see where Lance Stroll finished. Oh my gosh. He finished 15th. I mean, he was the last guy on the lead lap. Alonso with a horrible race. Alright, let's check the point standings. Alright, so we got Hamilton, Verstappen, myself in third. That's not going to last long. Obviously, we're going to fall down the order. But Hamilton controls the points right now. And in Constructors, we sit P4. So that's not too bad. I'm actually fairly happy with that. And now we come out of China with just over 250 resource points. We are leading the rivalry against Ricardo. And our reps went up a little bit. You see Haas, it's got a really high rep. I think we can bank on a guaranteed offer from Haas once we get to, I think it's Austria or Silverstone. I'm going to get the offer, but that'll do it for this episode of F1 2017 Career Mode. Thank you for watching, everyone. Subscribe, like, comment if you enjoyed, and I will see you guys next time for the Bahrain Grand Prix.